Welcome to our channel, USA Coin Spot. In this video I am going to tell you about the Kennedy half dollar, United States of America, which are very valuable and rare. If you have them, you can take advantage of them. Top 1. Today's story is going to blow your mind because we're talking about one of the most iconic and collectible American coins ever made, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar. But not just any version. We're talking about the special proof coin straight from the US Mint proof set, a coin that has stunned collectors by reaching unbelievable values in today's market. Now, if you think a coin from the 1970s can't be worth much, you're about to be shocked. Because while most Kennedy half dollars from 1974 are common pocket change, the proof versions minted in San Francisco tell a completely different story. These are not your everyday coins. They were created with special care, designed to shine like mirrors and display the highest level of detail. Each one was struck multiple times using polished dies, giving it that sharp contrast between the deep mirror fields and the frosty raised designs that collectors call cameo, or deep cameo. When you hold one of these 1974 proof Kennedy halves in your hand, it doesn't look like a normal coin, it looks like a small piece of art. The reflections, the sharp details, and the crisp portrait of President John F. Kennedy make it stand out immediately. But the true magic of this coin lies in condition. Because out of the many proof sets made, only a tiny handful of coins have survived in absolutely flawless perfection. And that's where the story gets exciting, because perfection in the coin world means serious money. Collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC use a strict grading scale to judge a coin's condition. The highest possible grade is PR70 Deep Cameo, and that grade is reserved only for coins that are absolutely flawless under magnification. Not one scratch. Not one haze. Just pure, stunning perfection. And when a 1974 Kennedy half dollar proof reaches that level, its value can go from just a few dollars to tens of thousands. That's not an exaggeration, it's a fact. Over the years, these coins have made headlines when near-perfect examples showed up at auctions and shocked everyone with their prices. The difference between a common proof coin and a perfect one is massive. Imagine finding a coin from a set that cost under $20 when it was released and realizing it could now be worth a fortune. That's the thrill of coin collecting, and the 1974 Kennedy proof half dollar is one of the biggest modern examples of that kind of miracle. The story of the Kennedy half dollar itself adds to the fascination. Created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963, this coin has become a symbol of American history and pride. By 1974, the design had already captured the hearts of millions, and the US Mint continued to produce proof versions with incredible care for collectors who wanted a piece of that history. But what they didn't know back then was that decades later, the perfect survivors of those 1974 proof sets would turn into serious treasure. So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable coins? First, look for the S Mint mark, just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse side. That's the mark of the San Francisco Mint, which produced all the proof coins. Then, hold your coin under a bright light. The background should shine like a mirror, and the portrait of Kennedy should look frosty and bold. That's the deep cameo effect. If the surfaces are flawless and the details look razor sharp, you might just have something special. It's incredible to think that a half dollar, a coin most people think of as just pocket change, can turn out to be a rare gem worth more than most people make in months. And the best part? Many of these proof sets were purchased decades ago and tucked away in drawers, safes, or family collections. You might already have one in your home and not even know it. Collectors today are hunting for these coins with passion because they know the potential reward is huge. A coin that once cost pennies to mint can now be worth a small fortune if it's graded perfectly. These proof coins capture the beauty of American minting at its finest, and the demand for top-quality examples is only growing stronger every year. Now, imagine this moment. You find an old 1974 proof set that's been sitting in your family's collection. You open it up, take out the Kennedy half, and realize it's flawless. No scratches, no haze, no blemishes. You send it off for grading, and a few weeks later you get the news, it's a perfect PR70 Deep Cameo. You check recent auction prices and discover that your 50-cent coin could be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $72,000. Yes, you heard that right. $72,000 for a coin you might already own. That's not a myth, it's real. And that's the kind of discovery that keeps collectors searching, proof set by proof set, year after year. The 1974 proof Kennedy half-dollar reminds us that treasure doesn't always come from ancient gold or pirate ships. Sometimes, it's sitting right there in your own home, shining quietly in a case, waiting for someone to notice its value. So, if you've got a 1974 proof set lying around, take it out, open it carefully, and take a closer look at that half-dollar. That coin might not just be history, it might be your hidden jackpot. Because in perfect condition, that little coin could be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $72,000. That's the magic of coin collecting, turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. And the next lucky collector could be you. If you love stories like this, coins that could change your life, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunt. Keep looking through those proof sets, because the next time you open one, you might be staring at a coin worth more than you ever imagined. Keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and remember, sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. Top 2. Today's video is going to open your eyes, because we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins in modern US history, the 1977 American Kennedy half-dollar, straight from the US Mint proof set. This is a coin that has shocked collectors again and again, because while it looks ordinary, its true worth can be absolutely unbelievable. Some of these proof coins have sold for prices that most people wouldn't even dream of, and if you have one sitting in your home, you could be holding a jackpot in the palm of your hand. Let's take a journey back to 1977. It was the post-bicentennial era, and the United States Mint was back to producing the classic Kennedy half-dollar design after those special bicentennial issues. These coins carried the same iconic portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the front, with the American eagle and shield on the back. But there's something special about the proof version, the ones that came out of the San Francisco Mint, marked with that small but powerful S Mint mark right below Kennedy's neck. Those coins were never meant to be spent. They were minted only for collectors, made with the highest care and precision, and sealed inside those hard plastic proof sets that so many people bought and tucked away for safekeeping. Here's what most people don't realize. Not every proof coin is created equal. The Mint made thousands, but over time, many have lost that perfect finish. Tiny scratches, a bit of haze, or even a microscopic blemish can reduce their value dramatically. But the ones that have survived for nearly 5 decades in flawless, untouched condition are something truly special. These are the coins that grading companies like PCGS and NGC dream of seeing, coins that are perfectly struck, with glass-like mirror fields and crisp, frosted details that pop out of the surface. When a 1977 proof Kennedy half-dollar earns that ultimate grade, PR70 Deep Cameo, it becomes one of the most valuable modern proof coins in existence. And that's when things get really exciting. The difference between a PR69 and a PR70 might look invisible to the naked eye, but that single grade step can mean the difference between a coin worth a few $100s and one worth tens of thousands. The Kennedy half-dollar has always held a special place in American hearts. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of pride, memory, and history. Collectors are drawn to it because of its beauty and its connection to President Kennedy's legacy. But when you combine that emotional power with a coin of absolute perfection, you get something that collectors will pay almost anything to own. Imagine this: you find your old 1977 proof set in a box or drawer. You open it up and there it is, that shining half-dollar staring back at you, untouched by time. You hold it up to the light, and it gleams like a mirror. Kennedy's portrait looks frosty, almost glowing against the dark, reflective background. Not a single mark, not a single spot. You might be holding a hidden fortune, and that's not just a dream, it's reality for a few lucky collectors. Over the years, perfectly graded 1977 proof Kennedy halves have stunned the coin world by selling for extraordinary amounts. We're talking numbers that can make anyone's heart skip a beat. Some of these coins, graded at the absolute top level, have sold for $2,700, and in the rarest, most pristine, once-in-a-lifetime condition, have reached an incredible $82,000. Yes, $82,000 for a single half-dollar coin. That's the kind of value that makes this hobby so thrilling. A coin that once came from a set that cost just a few dollars can now be worth more than a luxury car or even more than some people make in a year. And the best part is, those proof sets are still out there. They're sitting in safes, attics, drawers, and family collections all across America, waiting for someone to rediscover them. If you want to check your own proof coin, look carefully for that S mint mark and the deep cameo contrast, the mirror field and frosty raised designs. The 1977 proof half dollars that shine with perfection are the ones collectors crave. Hold it under bright light and look closely. Does the background reflect your face like a mirror? Do Kennedy's features stand out sharply, almost like 3D sculpture? That's what makes the difference between an ordinary coin and one that can change your life. The secret to these big prices lies in rarity within perfection. Millions of coins were made, but only a handful have ever been certified at the very top. That's what drives collectors wild, the chance to own something that's nearly impossible to find. And that's what makes the 1977 proof Kennedy half dollar one of the most exciting modern coins to search for today. Every coin has a story, but this one has everything: history, beauty, nostalgia, and the possibility of a huge payday. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always come from the ground. Sometimes it's been sitting on your shelf for years. So if you've got any proof sets from the 1970s, now's the time to check them. That shiny half dollar inside might be worth a lot more than you ever imagined. Because that one coin, that simple 1977 proof Kennedy half dollar, could be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $82,000, depending on its grade and perfection. Just imagine that, a small piece of metal from your family's collection turning into life-changing money. So don't wait another minute. Go grab those proof sets, dust them off, and take a closer look. The next big coin story might start with you. And if you love hearing about coins that can turn pocket change into a small fortune, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another treasure hunt. Keep your eyes open, your proof sets safe, and your curiosity alive. Because that shiny 1977 Kennedy half dollar you're holding might not just be history. It might be the next big treasure worth more than you ever dreamed. Top 3. Today's story is going to give you chills, because we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable proof coins of the modern era. We're talking about the 1985 American Kennedy half dollar from the official U.S. Mint proof set. This coin may look simple, but trust me, it's hiding a secret that could be worth a small fortune. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's uncover how a 50-cent coin from the 80s could turn into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure worth thousands, and in some cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's rewind to 1985. The U.S. Mint was in full swing, producing proof coins at the San Francisco Mint, the ones that proudly carry that elegant little S mint mark under President Kennedy's neck. These proof coins were never meant for circulation. They were struck only for collectors, using specially prepared dies and polished planchets that gave them that stunning mirror-like finish. When you look at one under bright light, the background reflects like a pool of glass, while the raised design, Kennedy's sharp portrait, and the American eagle on the reverse, stand out in a frosty, sculpted perfection. But here's where things get really interesting. Even though proof sets were sold to collectors all across the country, very few coins survived in absolute perfection. Some developed haze, some got tiny scratches, and others simply lost their shine over time. That's why the few remaining 1985 Kennedy half dollar proofs that have stayed in pristine, untouched condition have become the golden tickets of modern coin collecting. These are the coins that professional grading services like PCGS and NGC dream of finding, those flawless, deep cameo pieces that earn the top grade of PR70. If you've never heard of PR70, here's what it means: perfection. The highest grade possible. No scratches, no marks, no haze, nothing. A coin so perfect that it looks like it was frozen in time the exact second it left the minting press. And when one of these 1985 Kennedy half dollars hits that PR70 grade, its value skyrockets. We're not talking about a few $100 here. We're talking about serious money. Collectors across the United States are willing to pay premium prices for these ultra-rare, top-graded proof coins. Because owning one is like holding a piece of minting perfection, a coin that no one else in the world may ever find in quite the same condition. The 1985 Kennedy half-dollar carries not just beauty but legacy. It represents more than 2 decades of honoring President John F. Kennedy, a design that symbolizes leadership, hope, and American pride. Each proof coin captures that legacy with stunning craftsmanship. And that's exactly why the demand for these proof coins, especially in perfect condition, has exploded among serious collectors. Now imagine this: you're going through your old collection, maybe looking at your parents' or grandparents' proof sets from the 1980s. You open the hard plastic case, and there it is, that glowing Kennedy half-dollar, shining like a mirror, untouched by time. You tilt it under the light, and it gleams. The S mint mark glimmers below Kennedy's neck, and the details are razor sharp. No scratches, no cloudiness, just pure brilliance. You send it off for grading, and a few weeks later you get the message: your coin has been certified as PR70 Deep Cameo. Now, take a deep breath, because here comes the part that's going to make your heart race. A 1985 proof Kennedy half-dollar in absolutely perfect PR70 condition can sell for anywhere from $2,700 to $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000 for a 50-cent coin from 1985. That's not just rare, that's incredible. And the crazy part is that these proof sets are still out there. They're in safes, in boxes, in closets, and in family collections all across America. Most people don't even realize they're sitting on a coin that could be worth a small fortune. That's what makes the hunt so thrilling. You never know when you're going to open an old proof set and discover that you're holding one of the rarest, most valuable proof coins of the modern era. The proof half-dollar from 1985 stands out because it's part of a generation of coins that bridge the old and new eras of U.S. minting. It came right before the big changes of the late 80s and 90s, and collectors love that. The 1985 proof coins have a classic, timeless beauty, and the Kennedy design, with that sharp cameo contrast, has become a symbol of collectible perfection. The key to finding one worth serious money is simple: condition, condition, condition. The surface should be flawless, the background should reflect like a mirror, and Kennedy's face should have that frosted, bold look. The slightest imperfection can mean the difference between a nice collectible coin and a life-changing one. So if you've got a 1985 proof set, take it out carefully and check your half-dollar closely. You might be looking at a coin that's worth more than you ever imagined. And remember, this is what makes coin collecting so addictive: the excitement, the mystery, and the possibility that the next coin you look at could change everything. The 1985 Kennedy proof half-dollar is proof that sometimes history and treasure meet in the same small piece of silver-colored metal. So before you toss aside those old proof sets, give them a second look. You might be sitting on a coin that could bring you anywhere from $2,700 to $78,000. That's not pocket change. That's the kind of discovery that makes headlines and changes lives. If you love stories like this, coins that turn from ordinary to extraordinary, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another hidden treasure story. Keep your eyes sharp, keep those proof sets safe, and keep hunting, because the next legendary coin might already be in your collection. That's the magic of the 1985 Kennedy proof half-dollar, a 50-cent coin with the power to be worth up to $78,000. You never know when you'll find yours. Top 4. Today, we're talking about one of the most underestimated but unbelievably valuable coins of modern American history, the 1990 Kennedy half-dollar from the official U.S. Mint proof set. This isn't just another half-dollar. This is a coin that's turning heads and shocking collectors with how much it can be worth. So if you've got old proof sets tucked away somewhere, you'll want to grab them right now, because the treasure hiding inside could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's go back to 1990 for a moment. The world was changing, technology was booming, and the United States Mint was crafting some of the most stunning proof coins ever produced. The Kennedy half-dollar, one of America's most iconic coins, continued to shine as a symbol of pride and legacy. Every proof half-dollar from that year was made at the San Francisco Mint, marked with that tiny S under President Kennedy's neck, and that little letter can mean the difference between pocket change and pure gold in the world of coin collecting. Now here's the secret most people don't realize. These proof coins were never meant for circulation. They were struck with special dies, polished to perfection, and handled with extreme care. The minting process gave them mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs that collectors call cameo, or deep cameo. When you tilt one of these coins under the light, you can see your reflection in the surface, and the frosty portrait of Kennedy almost glows against that dark background. That's the hallmark of a true proof coin, and it's what makes it so beautiful and valuable. But here's where it gets really exciting. Even though thousands of 1990 proof sets were made, not all proof coins are created equal. Over time, most develop tiny imperfections, small hairlines, spots, or haze. But a tiny handful of them have survived in absolutely flawless condition. Those are the ones that grading companies like PCGS and NGC label as PR70 Deep Cameo. The ultimate grade, the absolute top, meaning perfect in every way. And when one of those perfect coins shows up, collectors go crazy. Imagine this. A coin that cost just a few dollars as part of a proof set back in 1990 could now sell for thousands. And we're not just talking small money. When one of these 1990 Kennedy proof half dollars is graded perfectly, and I mean absolute perfection, its value can skyrocket into the tens of thousands. That's the kind of transformation that makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's not just about history, it's about discovery, luck, and having an eye for hidden treasure. The Kennedy half dollar itself carries deep emotional power. Created in 1964 after President John F. Kennedy's tragic death, it's a coin that represents hope, unity, and American pride. And for decades, it has been one of the most collected coins in the world. The proof version of the 1990 Kennedy half is especially loved because of its sharp design and incredible mirror finish. But it's the condition that separates an ordinary proof coin from a life-changing one. If you're holding onto old proof sets, here's what you need to look for. First, check that S mint mark under Kennedy's neck. That means it's from the San Francisco Mint. Then hold it under a bright light. The background should shine like a mirror, and the raised parts should have that frosty, bold contrast. Look closely for any scratches or cloudiness. If it's spotless and shines perfectly, you might be holding one of those elusive high-grade coins that collectors pay a fortune for. And here's the best part: these treasures are still out there. Every year, people across America rediscover old proof sets passed down through family collections or hidden in drawers for decades. Some open those sets and realize they've been sitting on a small fortune the whole time. Just imagine, a coin that cost a few dollars back then could now fund a dream vacation, pay off debts, or even buy a brand new car. The 1990 proof Kennedy half dollar is a perfect example of why collectors never stop searching. It's not about luck, it's about knowing what to look for and understanding that even modern coins can hold incredible value. Perfection in coin collecting isn't just rare, it's almost mythical. And when that perfection shows up in a coin as iconic as the Kennedy half dollar, its price goes through the roof. Now picture this: you find your old 1990 proof set, take a closer look at that half dollar, and realize it's flawless. You send it off to be graded, and a few weeks later you get the results: PR70 Deep Cameo. Your heart starts pounding because you know what that means. That single coin, that one piece of polished metal, could now be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $69,000. Yes, you heard that right. $69,000 for a 50-cent coin from 1990. It sounds unbelievable, but it's absolutely true. That's the magic of proof coins. That's the thrill of perfection. And that's why collectors across America are hunting for these hidden gems every single day. So if you've got proof sets lying around from the 1980s or 1990s, go check them right now. Look closely at your 1990 Kennedy half dollar. Because that coin you've been ignoring for years might just be your golden ticket, a piece of American history that's secretly worth thousands. And if you love stories like this, about coins that go from everyday collectibles to unbelievable treasures, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next big discovery. There are still so many hidden gems out there waiting to be found, and one of them could be yours. Because when it comes to the 1990 Kennedy proof half dollar, that tiny coin could be worth anywhere from $2,700 to $69,000. So check your proof sets, hold them up to the light, and remember, sometimes, the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages.